Hi, my name is Cedric Honstadt. I am an illustrator and cartoonist and toy designer. I've been in the business for about 20 years, and you can see behind me some examples of some projects I've worked on in the past. And I wanted to tell you a quick story about something that happened earlier in my career where I said yes to a really big, exciting project, and I should have said no, and the lesson that I learned. Like a lot of freelancers, I started out small and gradually, it took a few years, but I gradually got better clients and better projects and a good reputation and more exposure, and things built up to where I am now. And I remember one of the first times I got a call from a really, really big client, someone I'd wanted to land as a client, I'd been trying to reach out to, and it was exciting because I didn't have a lot of big clients. And this was a company, it's not important who they are, but I can tell you that they're a very well-known brand. I think the name of the company is famous around the world. If they make children's products that pretty much every child in my generation used their products at some point growing up, and every child nowadays uses their products. Very well-known brand. And they called me on a Friday, and they were in a bit of a pinch. They had developed these new characters that were just little bodies with no arms and no legs, and they wanted some art to go on the packaging. And they wanted the characters to be really expressive and active and lively and happy and energetic looking, but without any arms or legs. And that's kind of hard to pull off. But they wanted to have me take a crack at it. But the problem was this was a Friday afternoon, and they needed to have the sketches Monday morning. And that's not unusual. As a freelancer, I get those kind of calls a lot because people will often bring in outside help like me when they're stuck, when they're in a pinch. And so I said yes. But the problem was we were leaving. It was Friday afternoon. We had a wedding that weekend that was out of town, and we had to travel a few hours and get to the hotel Friday night. And then Saturday we had, catching up with friends, and then going to the wedding, to the rehearsal and the groom's dinner. And then the next day was the wedding itself and the reception and dance and everything afterwards. So it was a packed weekend, and then traveling all the way home. And so what happened was I wound up working late in the hotel room until about 3 in the morning, Friday night and Saturday night, trying to do these sketches. And after all that activity and all that socializing, I was just physically and emotionally exhausted. And I remember sitting in the hotel room just struggling to do good drawings and being tired, and I just couldn't think. And the drawings were turning out not good, and I was getting a sick feeling in my stomach that this was not going well, and that was making it worse. And I just remember struggling to do these drawings I wasn't happy with, and I knew the client wasn't going to be happy with. They just were kind of terrible. And Sunday night, I remember sending off this email to the client with these late night sketches I'd done, and just kind of being apologetic and saying, I'm really sorry, we had a really busy weekend, and this was the best I could do. And sure enough, it wasn't up to what they were looking for, and they paid me for what I did, but I couldn't get them to respond to any emails after that. It was years before they would hire me again. And so I had this really great opportunity, this brass ring I'd been hoping for, and the whole thing just evaporated. It crashed and burned. And what I learned from that was, in hindsight, now that I'm a little older and hopefully a little wiser, if I had it to do over again, I would have said no. And here's what I should have said. I should have said, thank you so much for hiring me, for calling me. I would love to help you with this project, but I've got this really busy weekend. I can't give your project right now the time and attention that it deserves, but I want to. And please keep me in mind for anything in the future. And if I would have said that, they would have appreciated my honesty. And I would have started a communication where I could, now that I had a personal contact within the company, someone I could reach out to and send samples of my work. Not to spam them a lot or anything, but maybe every couple months, every 2 or 3 months, send a note just saying, hey, I'm still out here. Let me know if I can help you. Here's an example of something else I've done recently, or here's a silly doodle to brighten your day. If I would have just kept that going, I'm sure that it would have built into something long term. Because if they like my work enough to hire me once, they would still like my work enough to hire me again, and they would have appreciated my honesty, and hopefully then we would have been able to build into something where long term, where I would get several projects from them down the road. But I lost all that because I said yes when I should have said no. So that's a lesson that I learned. If any of you freelancers out there, that might be helpful. Thanks for watching this, and you have a great day.